My name's Anna.
My name's Nick. And we are Hub Holos on behalf of City Hub Ukraine. And today we are coming from the main base of operations for the donations for the City Hub Ukraine, Federation House on Claremont Road.
Let's kick off by speaking to Anne.
Yeah.
Okay. Where we're at with everything.
Hello, everybody. Yeah. So as Nick says, we're at the hub today, and we just thought we'd do a little tour around the hub, just to tell people that haven't been here before what goes on. So we're just sitting in the entrance here. It's got a nice breeze. It's a hot day. We've got Stuart with us as well.
Hello.
And then we can see Gail through the doors, busying away, and Phil somewhere, busying away, of course. And basically the doors are open Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 10 till 3. And you can come along and donate whatever you have for us. All our up-to-date lists are on our Facebook group, or you can email and ask what the up-to-date things are. But generally it's everything that we've needed from day one, and medical, food, basic hygiene products, and there's a few specialist items. We're asking for a few more baby items and baby formula, etc. at the moment, because there is a little bit of a baby boom in Ukraine at the moment. So so we're here. So when people come in, they come in the entrance where we're sitting now, and we've got a table just through the double doors where you can put your donations and speak to any of the volunteers on duty. And then everything gets sorted and packed up, ready to go on the lorries.
Okay, so now we're going to be joined by one of our brilliant volunteers here at City Hub Ukraine, Gail. It's nice for you to be here. Really nice for you to join us on this episode of the podcast. How did you find out about City Hub Ukraine, and what made you want to be a part of this?
Well, when it first started, there was a lot of adverts for clothes and aid to go over to Ukraine. So I started taking bags in, and bags of food. I used to go and buy a lot of food. And really it started off from there. And then there was a call out for an old Singer sewing machine, because they hadn't got electricity, and I'd got one standing in my dining room. So I thought, right, it's going to have to go, because I don't use it. I just was going to take the top off and use it as a stand to put a wash stand,
Yeah.
So anyway, we sent that off to Ukraine. I wonder if it's still being used.
Probably, I can find out. And that was our first meeting.
Yes, it was, yeah.
I answered your message that you'd put on for our appeal for a sewing machine, and so Stuart and I turned up in our camper van.
That's
right.
And
that was the first time we ever met.
Yes,
probably nearly over 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I'll try and find out, see, because I know where it went, so see if it's still being used.
Oh, that'd be great.
So you've been here pretty much from the early days.
Yeah. And then, of course, you're asking for volunteers, so I put myself down on the rota.
Yeah.
And that's how long I've been. I just keep coming back, and I will do until the war's finished. It's
brilliant.
You've got to help.
Yeah.
And it also, I've had a lovely Ukrainian girl come to stay, and she was there. I get very emotional when I talk about it. And she was with us 16 months, and she was lovely, so so I'm doing it for her as well, really.
Yeah.
But it does get personal, doesn't it?
Yes,
the more
it does,
we go on,
it does.
Because I think,
she's in
like
Kyiv
myself,
now.
you had nothing to do with Ukraine
I didn't
before.
even know where Ukraine was.
That's right, yeah, I know. So we're the same like that, but now obviously you had your lady staying with you and got to know so many of our lovely Ukrainians here.
It's all
getting
friendly,
more personal now as well.
Did you know about the Ukrainian community in Nottingham?
Not really, no. I didn't know anything about it. No, I didn't.
So it's just
I knew
purely
it was the Ukrainian club on Mansfield Road, because when Alex came to stay, we looked for somewhere to take her, and that's where we went first.
But until then you didn't know?
No, I didn't know much about it at all.
That's right, isn't it? Because you're from Nottingham.
Yes, yeah.
Because I didn't know, but we've only been in Nottingham 10 years, but and didn't really know.
I know there's a Polish community, but I didn't realise there was a big Ukrainian one.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it does start to become personal, doesn't it? When you actually meet some of the people.
Yes.
I've still got family in Ukraine,
Uh-huh.
so that's why I started doing this.
Yes.
But then you start to meet some of the ladies who've come over with their families, their children,
Yeah.
and hearing bits about their stories, how they came to be here, what their circumstances were
When
back
you
home.
put yourself in their kind of shoes, and
Yeah,
you can
of course,
empathise with it.
Yeah, you
I think when it's, you know, when people are sort of halfway across the globe, you know, and you're not seeing it firsthand or seeing the people, you know, in the flesh, you
Yes.
sometimes disassociate from it a bit.
Of course. Yeah.
But when you're there and you can see the actual impact it has on people right in front of you, that's when it becomes real and you can understand just how bad the situation is.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
right.
It's
And
affecting lives.
it's like it's the people. They're so much like us as well. It's
Yeah.
not the people just like us, everyday people. They've got good jobs. They've got a good education. They're quite well spoken, and they're very intelligent people.
I mean, they're part of
Of course,
Europe.
yeah. And
They're part of Europe, so-
they're just like, it's as though
There's human
Russia
beings that
wants
want to
to
get on
just
with their
wipe
life.
them out,
Yeah.
because
Right.
I think there's a lot of jealousy there, because his country, apart from St. Petersburg and Moscow, you go to the villages and they're like 1920s.
It's
They
like
don't
all
have
of
toilets
the only real
and sinks
place
and-
in
yeah.
Russia that's really that developed is the West, and then
Exactly.
anything
That's right.
past a certain
Yeah.
point, it's like
That's
wilderness,
right, yeah.
and, you know.
But no, I will do it, and you have to. You ever have to. They
So,
need help. and-
Gail, apart from coming here and helping to pack all of the donations, I believe you also involved in other parts of Hub Life.
Yes, we do coffee mornings, which is really good. And we do Christmas fairs, and we do line dancing.
Yes.
I won't talk about
That
that.
was very fun. That was very fun. I would
Check out
recommend.
Being the worst
check out the
dancer.
video, check out the
What
video on the
happens in line
Facebook
dancing
group.
stays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, all sorts of things, or making things to sell, and car boot sales, and lots of
Afternoon tea.
afternoon tea.
I must say,
And it's
Gail is a
lovely.
top cake maker as
She,
well.
yes.
She is.
Cake
We can all
maker,
vouch.
Glove maker,
Yeah.
knitted gonk maker.
She's just the jack of all trades of the hub.
definitely,
Master
yeah.
of none.
No, that's
No,
not
master of
true.
all.
You're,
So
you're
you-
the
you do-
craft master and cake
Oh,
baking master.
Definitely. So obviously you're in on the shift today. So have you unpacked anything interesting today, or what sort of things?
Well, it's usually today. It's been clothes, some medical stuff, but mainly clothes and food. That we also get donations from two big superstores in Nottingham. I don't know whether I'm supposed to mention names. Lidl and Aldi,
Yeah.
and we go 3 times a week and collect all the surplus food.
That's brilliant.
Obviously, the fresh food can't go because
Yeah. It's
we're
going to go
travelling.
off, yeah.
Yeah, so but we do bring that into the hub, and the ladies take it home, and it helps them with the budgets and everything.
Yeah.
'cause
That's brilliant,
They can
yeah.
have food, and lots of water, which we send, and tin stuff, especially tin stuff and dried foods,
Things that will keep.
rice,
Yeah.
pasta.
And that is brilliant, because that's what we're so desperate for.
Yeah.
That's people ask me, "Oh, what do we need?" And we need lots of different things, but it's the food side that we
Yes.
get the least amount
Yeah.
of, and the toiletries really.
Yes.
Unfortunately, because people, it's not something you've just got lying around at home that you can donate. So it's something people have to buy. But even just basic,
Yeah.
the basic toothpaste, the basic can of beans, or a soup or something
That's right.
would benefit somebody.
Goes a long
so
way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And better still if they've got the pool lids,
Yes.
because
Oh,
then
yes.
they can just pull the lid
Yeah.
off and eat it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So
yeah.
and apart from those kinds of donations, and we've girls talked about fundraising events, where does all that money go? Does it go for one specific thing, or is it spread out across different aspects of the hub?
Majority of the money is for the transport funding, because we need nearly £4,000 now every time we send a lorry, and this year we've been sending a lorry one a month, where last year it was more like every 6 weeks, every 2 months. So there is more pressure on us, which we're putting on ourselves. But we generally get the actual donation, the physical donations, but the cash side, we just have to work harder at. But I know there's one of our supporters, Lorraine. She's just messaged me while I was coming back in here today, saying, "Oh, her craft group had a fundraiser, and I'll find £100 in our bank account later today."
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
that's
Really
great. Things
generous.
like that. It's amazing how whether it's a £5 or £100 or a few £100 from a bigger event we're doing, it all adds up. And and Anna should be proud of what she's doing, because it's taken on herself this last few months to do organise the coffee mornings, the line dancing, salsa, and then the afternoon tea that's coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
The thing is, I enjoy doing it. Yeah, it can be hard work trying to get everything together, but I'm always amazed at the fact that our volunteers keep turning up to help out, because one person on their own can't do it all. And you do it because it just needs doing. And actually for us, yes, we know each other, but we're not always together at the same time on shift at the hub. So for us as well, it's a bit of a social thing.
Yeah, it's not just like we're turning up and grafting the entire time. Like, yes, obviously that is the main principle of why we do this. We have to put in the work to do it and to make things happen to benefit the cause that we support. But there is that social aspect of at the end of the day, after a successful event, we all come together and look at each other and be like, wow, we did this. We're really proud of each other. We're a little family. We've made this happen.
That's right. And whether it's we've raised £50 or a few hundred, that'll either help send the lorry, or I do have an ongoing appeal for tourniquets at the moment as well, because they are desperately needed in Ukraine. I've managed to find someone who's recommended by another group up in Hull. They gave me their contact for a guy who gets the correct tourniquet, because you can't just buy any old tourniquet, it's got to be a particular one. So we do ask if anyone wants to help to save a life, to send us the money. For £13 I can get a tourniquet, which is half the price that I bought them for before. And we get them over to Ukraine, and even if it's given to a defender, an elderly person, a child, if every single person in Ukraine has got one in their possession, they can give it to somebody else to save somebody else's life. And it's as simple as that. And
just touching on, obviously you're on about the lorries, I believe we're coming up to a very sort of special milestone. Number 70 coming up. 70, yes, and soon. Haven't got a confirmed date yet. We're looking at next Thursday, the 16th. It might be the week after. We've just got to see. We've still got a bit of money that we need to send the lorry. Haven't got all the funding for that yet. And also whether we can fill it. I've got a few things that are supposed to be coming in from other groups. And I'll know in a few days whether we think, we can fill it.
So I'm wondering, Stuart, what happens on lorry loading day? How does that all work for people who have not been and been part of it in one way or another?
Well, what happens is we pre-arrange, we come to the hub and we actually empty the hub. So we've hired vans, we've got other people that help us with vans, and we empty this hub completely into the vans, take it up to the yard in Derbyshire, and then normally Roman's there already, and he will have put on a couple of vehicles, and then we start loading by hand. It's handball, everything on, and literally we'll fill those vehicles with the boxes and so on underneath them, on top of them, and there'll be guys on the actual lorry, and they're just throwing all on, getting it filled as much as possible, and it can go really well sometimes, or sometimes there can be a problem, it's not being packed right, so we have to take it off and redo it, and it can be hard work, but that's what happens. And we've got a couple of units there as well that we take loads of stuff out that we've already put up, and we've just got lots of volunteers there to help us with it.
So we were talking about a lorry. How big are we talking?
They're 27-ton lorries, so they're not as big as you can get lorries. They're massive. They're Ukrainian lorries. We seem to get them through a lot easier that way. and and we just, like I say, fill them completely. And
So do the drivers from Ukraine bring the lorry here and
yes,
then take it back?
yeah. They come with something else. You know, another company has paid them to bring some items over, and then we pay them to come to us, and then, like I say, we load it. Also, of course, when it's loaded, it's all written on the boxes in English and Ukrainian, and it's all weighed and numbered, because we have to. It's got to go through customs, obviously, so it's all got to be correct. Yeah.
So it's a lot of work.
A lot of
there,
work,
one way or
yeah.
another. So
Yeah.
volunteers wise, do you have enough volunteers to do that, or
Not-
does it vary?
No, it varies.
You can never have
we've
enough, surely.
No,
you can never have
sometimes
enough.
we've got 20 there, and we can just relax slightly. And like one time we had hardly any, and it was really hard. You know, Roman were working hard, we were, and it was kind of too much. But so, and it just varies, and you'll see a few familiar faces, but then you'll see somebody, and then they're not there next time. And
I
it's,
think that's the thing with volunteering.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a job where
No.
someone's going to be here on this time, this day, this
No, that's
week.
right.
You know, between this hour and that
Yeah.
hour. You know,
Yeah.
people will turn up. You know,
Yeah,
when they can to
Yeah.
fit around
yeah.
their
No,
life.
that's
So
right.
it is difficult, and you
Yeah.
can't. You obviously, sometimes you don't know until that day or until you turn up. You know, who's
Yeah.
there or how many people are
No.
there. So
No, we
like
never do.
I was saying, you know, I don't think there is such thing as enough
Mm.
volunteers.
No, and we're in the hands of the volunteers. Like I say, it's up to them.
Yeah.
You know, they can be going to work, or they can just say, "Oh, it's a bit sunny today. I'm not coming," and we'll be left to do it.
Mhm.
And that's can be really hard. Then.
Yeah.
I mean, the
So,
bottom line
yeah.
is that the more volunteers you've got,
Mm.
it should be quicker to load
Yeah.
the lorry,
Yeah.
which eases that burden
Yeah.
on everybody.
That's right. Yeah, it can be chaotic, often chaotic,
Mm.
but it does help. And like I say, the main people can just stand back a little bit, have a look at how it's going, and then then continue on and make it a lot easier. Yeah, we have had sometimes in the winter been on till 7 at night in the dark.
It's a
We've
long
lost the
day.
light,
Yeah.
and it's
It's a
been
long day.
in the rain.
Yeah.
With actually Phil, one of our head volunteers, with a piece of paper with writing things down, and the paper's got wet and it's falling apart.
Yeah.
And we're trying to write this all down to obviously send off with the lorry. Yeah.
So, if anyone who's listening might like to help, you need to be looking at our Facebook page for any posts.
Yeah.
If you know anyone else who might like to give a few hours of the time to help,
Share the posts with them. Share the page
Yeah.
with them.
as much as you possibly can.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
get the word out
that's
there.
right. And Anne always puts a shout out about when we've got a load, and so that volunteers can get together and come up. And some people can give volunteers lifts as well. So if they don't have a vehicle, you might be able to get a
Yeah.
lift.
But let people know, let us know whether you're coming or not. If you usually come and you can't, let somebody know so that we can work around how many people we've got. It's really helpful if you could do that.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, I will put. Hopefully, there will be some kind of link below that we can put with all the contact details, etc. Facebook page, and probably on the screen of the YouTube video there will be probably the number or the the details
We've got
there.
an email as well.
Yeah, on the
People-
email.
and
So
especially
that's-
people don't do Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we've told you a bit about the hub. We've spoken to one of our many volunteers, but it's probably an understatement to say that what we are doing has affected people both in Ukraine and refugees that have come over here in a very positive way. And I know for a fact, Anne, you've had numerous messages from people giving their gratitude for what we do here.
Yeah, definitely. Just this morning I received a message from Nadia. She's one of a group of Ukrainian ladies down in Oakham in Rutland who now collect. They've been sending van loads of aid over to Ukraine. They're refugees themselves here in the UK, but they formed their own group. But now they don't have the transport, so they send their items with us. And just this morning she sent me a couple of messages
And
that I'd like Nick to read
I
because
shall
I'll
read
start
them.
crying.
Yeah, no problem at all. So this is one of our lovely messages that we receive. Thanks, Anne, and thank you so much for your heart for Ukraine. Reading your posts makes me feel that we are not alone when we wake up to devastating news in the morning, trying to hold back the tears and the screams inside while being fine on the outside. Sending lots of love and thank you. It's precious to know that you stand with us and truly understand how much this means. Your kindness and support makes a real difference, especially on days like this. Just want you to know it's very important and appreciated by everyone. And I will also just echo that.
Thank
Obviously, I come from a Ukrainian background, and our family over in Ukraine have also, said to us, how proud they are of us, and for supporting our heritage and for doing what we can. Because while we might not think it sometimes we wake up to this devastating news and think, why can't we stop this? We feel a bit useless sometimes when there is awful news happening. It's stuff like that makes you want to keep going and makes you want to keep driving towards this purpose of, making life a bit better for those that are in so much pain over there. And, that's all the acknowledgement we need to keep going. So
Yeah, we've got families still in Ukraine, some in Western Ukraine where they're marginally safer, but no one ever knows where these bombs are going to land. Nowhere's particularly safe. But we've also got family in Kiev, and this morning, when I was awake at whatever time it was, I saw the news of the latest bombing on Kiev, and thought immediately of family that live there, a family that have got 2 young children. One was born before the war started, and one was born after. And so she will have not known anything any different from the sirens going off, having to collect all your stuff and go down into shelters.
And that should just not be
It shouldn't.
every day.
It shouldn't.
That shouldn't be what a child knows as normal growing up.
No.
The thing is you can't help but think when you're reading the news, you're hearing the news of how many families' lives have been lost, children's lives destroyed before they've really had a chance to live. And so immediately I message, and I know I'm not going to get a message straight back, which is even more worrying, but you understand why you might not get one straight away. Fortunately, I got a message back, and they're actually in Nadvina at our family home there, so in Western Ukraine. So they're safe, and they're going to be there for 2 weeks, so less of a worry. But you can't help but think every time you hear the news, hopefully they'll still be safe. But while you're thinking that, you also feel guilty because if they're safe, someone else isn't.
Yeah, and you think, why are we the lucky ones?
Yeah.
And other families, will have done the exact same as us, message their family members in the morning after a strike and not been as lucky to receive a reply, And that's just the reality, the sad reality of the horrors and the travesty that's going on in this never-ending war, it seems.
And this is why we continue to do what we do, to try and help as much as we can, to try and help as many people as we can. Both in Ukraine and here, it's not easy for those that are here. Yes, they're safe, but a lot of them have got families still over there. A lot of them have got relatives on the front line. And sometimes they need emotional support as well as everything else.
Definitely.
And so, the hub will continue for as long as we need to do it, as long as it's needed.
Absolutely.
And we all hope, I think, that at some point
we hope it's sooner rather than later.
Yes.
It's got to stop.
Yeah.
It's got to stop. In the meantime, keep bringing your donations in. They're really appreciated, not just by us, but by the people in Ukraine who receive them. It makes their life a little bit easier. And also look out for fundraising events. It's also, by going there, not only are you helping to raise the funds to pay for lorries and tourniquets, it's also a chance to speak to some of the volunteers and maybe find out a little bit more. And to maybe realise yourself, well, actually, I can do something to help. I'm in a group that does this that and the other, and we can raise some money ourselves to do that, or we can donate a certain amount of items.
Maybe you have something that you're passionate about, a hobby, or something that you do that you think, you know, for instance, you know, say you're a swimmer, you like swimming. Oh, I can, you know, do so many lengths and try and do a fundraiser that way, get sponsors. So that we're always thinking up new ideas of, you know, ways to kind of raise this money.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's £20 or £200.
Money's
Every pound.
it doesn't matter what it is, pennies,
up.
pounds, anything really.
I must just add, Stuart Vickers. He is in the midst of training at the moment for the Robin Hood half marathon.
He's looking in excellent shape.
And he's got his first 10k this Thursday, which he's not looking forward to because we're in another heat wave. So there will be a Just Giving fundraiser coming up soon. That will be popping up. That will be obviously not for the 10k one, but for the Robin Hood one, which Lena and Maggie, 2 more volunteers, will be running as well for. It'll be a fundraiser for the 3 of them.
And again, links for that kind of stuff can be found on the social media pages. So yeah, I believe that is probably it for today.
Yeah.
We've had another really good podcast. Thank you again, Anne.
Yeah.
And thank you,
Thank
Stuart.
you.
And
Yeah,
thank you
thank
to
you.
Gail, who is
Yeah,
working
she's
her
back.
socks off in the hub
she's
right
back.
now.
It was thrown in at the deep end.
Thrown in the deep end, but
And
she
we've got
swam.
another donation just coming in there.
Yeah, another donation, so probably picked a good time.
So that's all from us at Hub Holos.
I don't know.
Remember to look out for our next one, and we'll be speaking to you again soon.
Bye.